Hey guys, it is Time Crunch Tuesday again, and today I'm going to show you how to capitalize on pre-made food throughout the week that does not make it taste funny or change kind of the makeup of it. I myself do not like leftovers, so it's really important that I find recipes that last after reheating them. And one of my favorite things to do to make ahead are meatballs. My recipe for the chicken meatballs is in my Best Whole 5 e-cookbook. These particular meatballs are the same exact recipe, only I substituted chicken for the trio, which is veal, pork, and beef. My fiance likes those better, so who am I to argue? So we're going to just go through how you could make these a meal any day of the week, not just when you make them, and not just as a traditional spaghetti and meatballs. So what I did was just bake the meatballs according to the recipe. It only takes 30 minutes to bake these on 350. It's a lot less greasy than frying them, and I like to pop them in the oven for a half hour so that I could also use my time wisely and kind of multitask while they're baking. So once they're finished and they're cooled off, you could just put them in Tupperware that are freezer safe. Another thing that you could do that I like to do is kind of separate them out so that you have a few saved for lunch for the rest of the week. Putting these in a little container with some freshly diced carrots, celery, or peppers with hummus is delicious. It's a nice little Mediterranean dish. You could also throw them into sauce, which will just be a regular spaghetti and meatballs, or throw them in sauce and then put it on spaghetti squash or zoodles. Those are great too. So the point is that you could use these meatballs in many different ways, not just in traditional tomato sauce. I also like using them kind of ground up in rice or quinoa with sauteed spinach. It's a great way to add protein really quickly. And for those of you who are like me and need more protein in their diet, I do because of my Crohn's disease, this is a great way for me to pop in quick amounts of protein throughout the day. So if I just take 3 out of the freezer, defrost them on the counter, I will have a quick amount of protein with any meal. And I started doing these or making these when I lived alone because I couldn't get myself to make a whole batch of meatballs and eat them quickly. So I would make them, put them in the freezer, and as I needed them, I would take 2 or 3 out at a time to add some protein to a basic rice dish or a stir fry. You could even turn them into sandwiches, whatever you like to do with meatballs. Keep them plain, freeze them like this. They could freeze probably for up to 2 to 3 months, depending on the type of container that you use. So today, the Time Crunch Tuesday is to save time by preparing meatballs ahead, throwing them in the freezer, and then taking them out to defrost at whatever quantities you want so that you could make delicious breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And speaking of breakfast too, you could actually throw them into a breakfast casserole and it's really delicious. So that is my Time Crunch Tuesday tip of the week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.